Alright, let's do our Test 2 study guide. So the first question says directions. Click in the box to select your answer. You must select all possible answers. So this question is acting like a TEI question on the computer when you're supposed to click on your answer. And to get it right, you do have to select all possible answers. Okay, so it's really important to do this carefully. So our equation is this: x plus 3 squared plus y minus 2 squared equals 49. So our center comes from these two numbers here and here. Alright, the rule is that we're going to switch the sign. So we'd make the positive 3 a negative 3, and then we'd make our positive 2 a negative 2. Alright, so guys, we have our center is at negative 3, negative 2. Alright, the next thing we need to graph our circle is what the length of the radius is. So to find the radius, our job is to take the square root of the number on the right side of the equal sign. So we'll need to take the square root of whatever's to the right of the equal sign. So in our calculator, square root of 49 is 7. Alright, so the radius is 7. Now we can graph our circle. So let's get a piece of graph paper. Let's draw our x and y axis real quick. Oh, nice purple. Oh, try that again. There we go. Okay, so I forgot the center. It is negative 3, negative 2. So I'm going to graph negative 3, negative 2. There's the center, and I don't like that point. Let's make it prettier. There we go. Alright, and again, my radius is 7, so I'm going to be counting 7 spaces in each direction: up, down, left, and right. Alright, so here we go. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And then last but not least, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, there it is. Looks nice. So I'm going to have to draw a circle, and it's going to look really bad because I'm using the mouse pad. But to try to do what you guys have to do on your paper, I'm going to do... That looks really bad. I'm going to do the best that I can to do that for you and show you, like, if your circle doesn't end up looking perfectly circular, it's okay. Alright, we're going to use our imagination and do the best we can. So here we are. There's my beautiful circle. Now I have to select all the points that lie on this circle. Okay, so the first one I'm going to check is if negative 6, 3 is on my circle. So I'm going to go back over here and plot for my origin negative 6, 3. Alright, that point is right here. Alright, so I would say that's not on the circle, that's inside the circle. Because if you make the curve go through that point, it's going to look, you know, more flat on that side of the circle. Alright, and the circle needs to be that nice round shape. So that's a no. It's on the inside of the circle. Alright, next point is negative 3, negative 2. Alright, oh, wrong way. Negative 3, negative 2 is actually my center. And that's not on the circle. That's also inside the circle. Next point, 4, negative 2. So 4, negative 2, that's actually one of the primary points, one of the 4 primary points in a graph. So that definitely is on the circle. So I'm gonna say yes, I found one so far. So then you would click right here, click, I'm gonna check. Alright, next is 2, oops, excuse me. Go crazy. Alright, the next point is 2, 5. So here we go. 2, 5 is right here. Alright, so that's outside the circle. Alright, can you see that that definitely doesn't fit that nice curve of my circle? So I'm going to say no to that one. Oh, wrong way. Alright, next is negative 10, negative 2. where are you at? So 3, 6, 9, negative 10, again, one of those primary points. Yep, that is on the circle. And then last but not least, negative 3, 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and there's one of your primaries. So those are the main ones, but keep in mind that sometimes you're going to have points that are around, in between those primary points, okay? So check all of them very carefully. So we're done with number 1. Number 2, all right, identify the center and length of the radius of the circle defined by this equation. So again, this one's pretty easy. So remember, for the center, you're looking at these two numbers, all right? Now there is no number there, so we know that that's supposed to be 0. So I'm going to switch my negative 7 to a positive 7. So in parentheses, 7, comma, and then when there's no number, it is 0. Okay. Now my radius comes again from, let me highlight this number here. You are supposed to take the square root of that number. Now the square root of 14 squared, you can type, okay, again, the square root of 14 squared, oh, my calculator is not on. There we go. Here we go. Alright, and that gives me 14. Now, some of you guys are simplifying, so you're figuring out that 14 squared is equal to 196. And then you're taking the square root of 196. But that's going to give us the same thing, so it's really no difference. Alright, so the radius is 14. Good practice, so we're going to figure out what's the diameter. If our radius is 14, then our diameter would be double that. Okay, so I would just do 14 times 2 or 14 plus 14. Either way, it's the same exact thing. So our diameter for this one would be 28. Yeah. Next on the list, number 3. Given circle C with center 9, negative 9, which equation could represent circle C? Alright, so this one, let me tell you guys, it's pretty easy because every number to the right side of the equal sign is the same. So I really don't have to worry about what the radius is. The center is where it's at. Now, you're supposed to switch the sign, so it's going to have to be a negative 9 first, and then a positive 9 second, which is D. Alright, done. Next, number 4. Given circle K with this diameter JL, the points of the JL, what is the equation of circle K? Or write the equation of circle K. Great. Now this one is a good question, and you do have this on your test. So we have to figure out the center, alright, so we know what to write here, and we're going to need to know the length of the radius is what goes here, okay, the radius squared. Alright, so we need to get our points plotted. We're going to plot these 2 points on our graph paper. Negative 6, negative 7. Let me get our y-axis and x-axis real quick. Alright, negative 6, negative 7. It's right here. And the other point is 10, 5. 5. Okay, perfect. Now I'm going to use you'd use a ruler. I'm going to use my tool on the computer to draw a straight line. Alright, so this is my diameter. So I'm going to write that real big right here. That's my diameter. Alright, so you've just graphed the diameter of a circle. Alright, now we have to find the center, which means we're going to have to count the vertical distance and the horizontal distance. So I'm going to use my tool because this is what you would do. You would draw the right triangle. Alright, then you're going to go and count your distance. Use a different color. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Good. So I'm going to write that next to the side there, and then count the other side. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Okay. Alright. So to get to the center, Alright, I'm going to count half of the distance of 12 and 16. So half of 12 is 6. Half of 16 is 8. Alright, cool. Now I'm going to start over. Let me get a different color. Green would look nice. So then I'm going to count up 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and then over 8. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then that would take me to my center. Alright, that's the midpoint. So the coordinates of my center are going to be, so at the origin, over 2, down 1. So 2, negative 1. Now, that's the first thing we need to write our equation. So let's revisit the question. 2, negative 1 is my center. So that means, let me write it again, 2, negative 1. It's important to see that the relationship in the equation is, for the center, it's the opposite sign. So you have to switch your positive 2 to a negative, so minus 2. And then you have to switch the negative 1 to a plus 1. All right. Now, we're going to figure out what goes here. This is our radius squared. So, back to our graph, we're going to figure out the length of the radius. So let me highlight the radius. It goes from the center, and I'll use this side since I've already made my triangle. Alright, so I'm looking for the length distance of the radius, so that means I'm going to use my formula again, my a squared plus b squared equals c squared. Alright, so the two legs, again, I already counted the half, so 6, and then this was 8. So I've already done the work, I just need to plug it in my calculator. So I'm going to do 6 squared plus 8 squared equals x squared. Ooh, well, leaning over to the left there on my equal sign. Alright, so go to your calculator and make sure that it's on. Your window is set nicely. Y equals, so I already have it here for you, 6 squared plus 8 squared, and then y2 x squared. Then you hit second, trace 5, wait. Oh. Enter right, enter, and you are done. Your radius is 10. So I'm going to write that down, 10. Cool. So we are ready for this part. So our radius was 10, right? 10 squared. Then what does that equal? 10 squared. So back to my calculator. Is 100. So, I mean, sometimes you do actually see the question or the equation actually write 10 squared right here instead of 100, but you may see it the other way. Most times you do see it when they simplify it, they'll write the number. They won't write the number with the exponent. So, just keep that in mind. You might see both ways. Next question. Number 5, given the endpoints negative 3, 3, and 3, 5 of the diameter circle D, which equation represents circle D? Okay, so this one's almost like the last one, so we'll do this one quickly. Go ahead and make our x and y axis and graph our center. So our center is, well, we don't have a center, I'm sorry. We have endpoints, that's different. So we have endpoints of a diameter. Okay, and we're graphing that diameter so we can find the center, which the number would go here and here for our center, and then we're finding the length of the radius. All right, and that would be what goes, sorry, to the right side of the equal sign for this side. So we need two things: the center and the radius. So let's get going. We're going to plot the 2 points, negative 3, 3, and I believe the other point was 3, 5. Alright, so there is your radius, your diameter. Let's see. That is your diameter, and now we're going to find the center, which here, sometimes you can actually guess the center. That's definitely the center. So 0, 4 is my center. And then, let's see, my radius is going to be this amount right here. Okay, since this is my diameter, my radius is half, so 1 squared plus 3